Hi, my name is Charlie Changemaker, and I am a student in Miss Snook's science class. And I have an assignment that I am seeing in my Google Classroom that I have to come up with an idea about using biomimicry for a new product to solve a problem that I see in the world around me. And it's taken me some time to think about a product and a problem, but I think I finally got it. And I wanted to share that with you for some feedback. So I went into my Google Classroom and I looked at my biomimicry assignment, and I noticed that there is a um, Google Doc here that I had to fill out along with a slide. So I'm going to show you what I wrote. So the problem I'm trying to solve is how hot cars get in the summertime in Tucson. A car is like an oven. It has trapped air inside of it, and when the sun is out, the sun heats the air. I can feel how hot the air is when I open the doors to a car that has been outside all day. It rushes out in my face like when I take something out of the oven. The excessive heat causes people to be uncomfortable when they get in a car, but the most important problem that I'm trying to solve is the number of deaths of children and animals that are left in cars that are turned off and don't have air conditioning. I want to figure out a way to stop the air from getting hot. I did some research and I found out that the heat is caused by infrared radiation from the sun. There are animals such as snakes that use infrared radiation to locate their prey. The prey gives off heat, and the snake can see the heat and knows where the food is. But what if there was a way to block infrared radiation so that no heat could be detected? If there was no extra heat from the sun hitting a car that is turned off, then the inside would not get as hot. And if a person or animal is left inside it by accident, it may have a better chance of survival. So I think this is my idea, and I'm going to work on my slides. So the first part is I have to describe the science and also in nature. So this is what I created. So the science behind this, I found an article on Scientific American, and it says, according to Tom Sepf, in an article in Scientific American, the infrared portion of the sun's radiation causes molecules in solids, liquids, and gases to move on a molecular level. The energy that is transferred causes the temperature to rise. Infrared, which is another word for heat, is also emitted from living organisms and allows them to be seen by special tools that can detect the heat. So in nature, snakes use the heat that their prey is emitting to see their food in the dark, or even to see a predator or human that is going to attack them in the day when the sun is out. The heat that is coming off their prey appear a different color or brighter compared to the background. Snakes do not see photons of visible light like we do because their eyes do not have the proper parts to detect light. So I showed a picture of what humans would see of these two mice in the grass and what a snake would see. And then this is another picture of how a snake would see a mouse. And you can see that it's much brighter than the cooler background of being outside. So in the human world, the current use of infrared, I know that the police and the firemen use it. So I used two examples from there. So I said on the left is an image using infrared technology from a police helicopter when it is trying to locate a person. So here are the two people running, and you can see this is coming from the air. You see the street is black, the car is black, the tree is black. So those items must be cooler than the humans that are emitting heat. They appear white. On the right is an image of it being used in a smoke filled building to locate a possible victim. So here you see the firefighter standing in the smoke, and he can't or she can't see the victim. But on the right, with the use of infrared, they can see the victim is laying on the floor, even though there's a lot of smoke in the room. So, what did I come up with? My idea is for an infrared reflecting glass for cars. So, I did some research and learned that the glass on car windows is primarily made to be strong, to withstand the wind on the road. And if there's an accident, it tries not to break. And if it does break, it doesn't shatter. So there's special glass in cars. Also, some people have their glass tinted to limit the amount of sunlight that gets in. So it's like putting sunglasses on your car so that it's not so bright in there while you're driving. However, infrared heat waves do get in. It doesn't stop the infrared, the heat from the sun, from getting into the car. So, my solution is a glass that is strong enough to be on cars. I'm not trying to change the strength of the glass, but it blocks the heat from getting inside the vehicle by reflecting the infrared rays and keeping the interior cool even when the air conditioner is not running. And so I did some research to find out what it is about the snake eyes that does this. And I found out that they have a special organ in their in their nose, actually. So right by their nose, in front of their eye, it's called a pit organ. I'd never heard of this before, and it is what is used to detect the infrared from the mouse it might be hunting. And these are some microscopic images of the pit organ. And I need to get, I just remembered that Miss Snook always wants us to put our references for where we got our images on our slides. And so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to ask her for help on how to get that into a works cited, because I don't want to get in trouble for plagiarism. Okay, so now I have to figure out how I'm going to design my glass. So I remember Miss Snook saying there is an app on Google on my waffle here. So let's see. If I go to my Google and I find drawing, or I can just drawing, Google drawing app. All right. So I went ahead and drew a piece of windshield glass, and I used this shape tool to find a shape that I wanted, and I chose this one, and I drew this is representing my windshield glass. And then I got an image of looking through a microscope of what the inside of a pit organ on a snake would look like. And that's what I want my glass to be made out of. So this is showing the windshield glass, and this is showing what would be on it. And it's supposed to reflect the infrared rays coming in from the sun and keep the heat out of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that in for Miss Snook to um, I have to find out how to get this into my, hang on. So what I'm going to do to get this into my Google Slides is I'm going to click my mouse and drag it over this, and then I'm going to right click. Oh, it doesn't allow me to copy. So let me try it again. Go to edit, copy, and then I'm going to go to my slide, and I'm going to hit Control V to paste it, and I'm going to move it over here and resize it so that it fits. And I'm going to adjust it to make it how I want it to be. Okay, so now that this is done, I'm going to turn this into Miss Snook so she can take a look at it and approve it. So I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom and I'm going to hit turn in. And it has both my writing and my slides so far. So I'm going to hit turn in. Oh, I turned it in late, but that's okay. Hey everybody, it's Miss Snook. Hope you enjoyed that little how-to by Charlie Changemaker, my student account. And I'm going to show you what I am doing as a teacher on my side so that you know when you submit your work how it is being looked at. So I've logged into my Google Classroom. I'm going to go to classwork and I'm going to look and see if any students turned in their ideas because that is what was supposed to be done. And I see that 2 have turned it in, and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to see that Mariah turned in 1 and Charlie turned in 1. I want to take a look at Charlie's right now. And I'm going to read over his idea. I like how he wrote it out. He explained the problem that he is trying to solve and what he wants to do about it. Then he explains the research that he did and what he learned about radiation from the sun and that snakes use this to help see in the dark. And all of that is correct. Um, and I see a question here. He wants to know if there's a way to block radiation so that no heat could be detected. So I think that's going to be what he's going to try to do his project about. And I see that he did a slideshow and he put more on here than I asked for, which is great. I'm going to look and see the science, going to read through his stuff. I have a question about whether or not this was plagiarized, but I look here and I see that he gave credit to where it is. I see that this is in his own words. I could look that up. I need sources for his images. His current use of infrared technology, I'm familiar with this. This makes sense. I know what he's talking about. And this is his idea. Okay, so this is what it would do. I see a car here with sunlight coming in, and this looks like steam rising, so it's probably getting hot in there. And I look at this image and I see a red arrow coming in and a red arrow going out. So that must mean the reflecting part of his glass. So that makes sense. I also see a snowflake here. I doubt it would be as cold as a snowflake inside, but I can see that that means cooler. It's going to be cooler on the inside. And the last slide, I see that he based his design on a specific organ in the snakes that does detect the infrared radiation. And I see this image here, so I would want to make sure that that has a resource so I can go look it up. And I see his design. It's a very simple design on this slideshow, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the model looks like. So I'm going to ask him. I would say I approve this idea. Make sure you have your sources listed, and I need your shopping list. I'm going to post that and I'm going to return it to him. And this doesn't have any points, so I don't have to assign any points. And I'm done with Charlie Changemaker. So let me show you what Charlie sees when he goes back into his classroom. I'll be right back. Okay, it's me, Charlie Changemaker again. I need to go and check and see if my teacher made any comments on my work. So I'm going to click on the class. I'm going to go to classwork. And I'm going to go to view your work. And I'm going to see if there are any comments here. Oh, I see a comment right here for my idea. I just submitted that, so I'm glad that my teacher wrote a comment here. Let me see what that says. Oh, here's the comment. It says, I approve this idea. Make sure you have your sources listed and I need your shopping list. Okay, so I'll open that and I will respond to her. I need plastic wrap for my windshield and some Play-Doh. And I'm going to send that to her and resubmit. Hey everybody, it's Miss Snook again. Gonna just check real quick to see what has been turned in and if any students have responded to my comments. I'm gonna go ahead and go to classwork. I'm gonna go to the My Idea because that's what I'm still waiting on from this class. And I see that 2 students have turned things in. I already looked at Mariah's, gave her feedback, and Charlie wrote back to me. So I'm gonna open that up. And Charlie says that he needs plastic wrap for my windshield and some Play-Doh. So guess what? I'm going to go bring it into class so that he can start making his model. It's as simple as that.